Hello again and welcome to Money Tips. This is Charles Kelly bringing you money tips to help you save, earn, invest, accumulate and ultimately enjoy more money. Now, what's the funniest money saving tip you've ever heard about or received? The one that comes to mind for me, or certainly the strangest one, was on a radio program. I used to do a lot of driving around to clients. I'd listen to radio shows during the day, and one of them was this DJ who said, "Send in your money tips on a postcard and you'll get a free mug." And so someone sent in a tip and said, "This was the tip, right? This is in the days when you used to use bars of soap, not liquid soap." And the tip was to instead of throwing away the little leftover bars of soap that you get, so you get a big bar of soap, you'd wash your hands, and then gradually be this little slither. Said, gather all the slithers and the leftover bars of soap, put them in a saucepan, heat them up, and then meld them together into a new bar of soap. Okay, it's quite a clever idea, but it just, for the effort involved and probably the ruined saucepans, maybe it's not worth it. But that was one of the funniest ones I've seen. Now, if you've received anything like that, drop me a line. Not on a postcard. You can email me, charles@charleskelly.net. I'll be, if I get them, I'll read them out. It'd be quite funny to read them out. Just a bit of trivia, really, and you can save. Sometimes you can go to the nth degree to save money, but sometimes, like in a business, you're trying to save money on paper clips when you should look at the bigger picture and building up the business and getting more customers. So, but I will give you now 5 quick tips that can save you thousands of pounds over the years, and these are straight out of a daily newspaper. Actually, so it's out from the Metro, and I'll give them credit for this. But they've come up today with 5 things you can do now to improve your finance. This is from the Metro. Okay, number 1, switch your current account. Now, I must say I'm pretty guilty of this myself. I've had the same current account for 25 years. I dare not touch it because I always think something's going to go wrong. But you don't have to worry because the government have forced the banks to make it easier to switch your current account. Having said that, I do have other accounts for different things, but my basic current account has been with one bank. And actually, on a credit score, if you've been with the same bank for many years, it seems to make a difference. But however, if you do save, if you do switch accounts, for instance, they give an example here. Switching a current account, you could get £100 gift. You could save £100 by switching to HSBC, £150 by switching to HSBC Advanced Bank Account. Now, some of these accounts have fees as well, so you've got to watch those. Some say, well, we've got a little £10 a month fee, but you get free this and free insurance and blah blah blah. Is it worth it? You have to make that decision. Secondly, is look at your subscriptions and try and either review your subscriptions or get rid of them altogether. Now, you need to know what's coming in. You probably know how much you're earning, but where is that money going? And this is part of my 3 R's of money management. Actually, read, review, revise, and you need to look at your bank statement, which sometimes you can do on your phone. It's not like you have to go and print something off, or go into the branch and say, could you print off a list of my direct debits and standing orders? You know the difference with a standing order. The standing order is something that comes from you, and it's your instruction to pay somebody. A direct debit is giving the company or the institution the ability to debit your account, to dip into your account and take money out of it. So review both of those and you'll be amazed at the stuff you'll find. If you haven't done it for a couple of years, you'll find stuff that, why am I paying this? I'm paying RAC and the AA and I've got free cover with my insurance company or whatever. Just look at that. Could be gym memberships that you don't use anymore. And I think it's Go Compare here said the average person could save £360 a year just by doing this alone. So I would definitely look at that, but look out for any early cancellation charges on say a gym or whatever. Just look out for anything like that. Okay, so that's the second one. Number 3 is to overpay your mortgage. Many of you will be on a repayment mortgage, especially if you're a homeowner and it's your own personal mortgage. And the repayment mortgage kind of works that you pay most of the interest in the early years and you pay back capital later on. So it kind of goes down in a curve. You're paying interest here and it goes down in a big curve, and the interest that you pay each month as part of your monthly payment gradually becomes more capital than interest. I didn't explain that very well. In the early days on a repayment mortgage, your monthly payment, say if you're paying £1,000 a month, probably 900 of that will be interest in the early years. So they're getting their interest up front, and only £100 will be capital. So if you look at your mortgage over 5 years, you think, why haven't I paid that much off? But as it goes on through the years, you'll gradually pay more and more capital off. Now you can accelerate this process by paying a little bit extra on your mortgage. And I mean, there was an example here, an extra £50 on a £200,000 mortgage at 3.5% would save you £8,000 over 25 years. Now it's not that difficult to come up with another £50 a month. So that's just another thing you can do. And obviously in that example, if you'd put £50 a month this year and the 60 next year and 70 the next year, you would save even more on your mortgage. And usually if you overpay on your mortgage, they shorten the term, so you just get it cleared quicker, that much quicker. Personally on buy-to-let mortgages, I tend to go for interest only, so it doesn't really apply on that. But still, even on an interest only, you could still send them some capital each year. Even where you've got a fixed rate mortgage with penalties, you can usually pay off 10% of that loan without penalty on most mortgages, but you need to check that as well. Okay, number 4, transfer your old ISAs to the highest paying ISA. And this is very, very easy. I did it recently. I think it was a NatWest ISA where my current account was, and it started off very well. It was one of the top ones when I started it, and then 3 or 4 years later, it had gone right down. I was earning a 0.25% or something. So I then switched it. I did it in the high street. You can do it online as well, but I still like to walk in and say, look, here's let's sign this. Here's my passport and all the rest of it. And I did that, and I think I quadrupled the amount I was earning. I think I get half or 1%, maybe double or quadruple, but still, it all adds up, doesn't it, over the years? Why get a 0.25% and settle for that when you can get 0.5%? You can do the same with your savings accounts and deposit accounts, as they used to be called. Definitely do that, because the banks tend to let them become obsolete, and they gradually reduce the interest that they're paying on the account that you've had for years, and then they say, oh, you've got to switch to this new super duper account. It's a different account. Well, it's just a deposit account, isn't it? No, this is a different account. And they ask you to come in and switch, but many people don't switch. When I worked in the bank, we had people with 50, 100, 200,000 pound on an account paying the lowest interest rate, and they wouldn't switch. They said, no, I'm happy. No, don't want to switch. I'm happy with that as it is. So that's their choice. But definitely look at that with your ISAs and all your bank accounts where you're earning interest, savings accounts. Definitely review those. You may not even need to change banks. Just go in and say, I want a better account, or I'm moving it, and they'll usually come up with something. So that's the ISAs. And with ISAs, you should be putting in your maximum to your ISAs each year, because that is then earning tax-free money, and it will earn tax-free money forever. So although you look at an ISA and think, well, I can only put in a few thousand, over the years that could end up to be hundreds of thousands, if not millions, in a tax-free wrapper, tax-free environment. Okay, and then number 5 is to get rewarded for spending. This can be done through various credit cards. I mean, the American Express is the famous one for this. Gives you 5% cash back in the first 3 months, and up to 1% thereafter. So that's quite a bit of cash back there. If you can find anybody that takes an American Express, you won't find it down your local Chinese takeaway, I'll tell you that. They don't even take credit cards where I am. Oh no, cash only. They say no credit cards. So anyway, but that's one way. Other ways, some bank accounts, now one of my bank accounts offers a reward for just the direct debits, actually. I don't know why they pay me a reward on that, but every so often I get 50 or 80 pounds that's there, and I can cash it in, or I can use it to buy stuff with it. But there are lots of schemes. There are air miles on certain credit cards, all sorts of stuff. So look out for those. You can find those online, actually, the reward for spending. Okay, so those are 5 quick tips. I'd add another one to these, and these are these sort of coupon cutting type tips. You can save money on these coupons, and coupons could be cutting out like one my very wealthy client used to do. She one of the very successful lady used to always cut out the coupons to save £2 or £3, even though she was multi-millionaire. But as she would say, if you look after the pennies, the pounds look after themselves. So you can still do those, the voucher, the Groupons. I was in a Bella Pasta restaurant with a few guys recently, and one of them pulled out his phone, got online, registered for something, Bella Pasta offers, and we all got 20% off of the bill straight away. And I registered then, and I still get offers from Bella Pasta, and why not? It's a good thing. People do the same thing with coffee companies and all sorts of things. So just look out for those. Maybe not cutting out coupons, but there are ways of saving money. They have days when you can get a free cup of coffee. So look at those. They're worth looking at. And also, if you're selling products, if you've got a business, you can sell your products through companies like Groupon, to get your business going. I was saying recently that I had a restaurant owner. I was asking him what marketing he does, and I advised him to look at something like that, to look at companies that bring customers to him for a commission. But so there's two ways of looking at it. You can be the vendor or you can be the customer using these coupon type of deals, and they can certainly save you money. Okay, now obviously, look, all of these money saving tips are great, right? But they can never substitute, if you want to build wealth, they can never substitute for increasing your income, right? Yeah, you can save money here and there and save a few thousand here, but it's probably not going to make you wealthy. It'll make you a little bit better off, but it's never going to really build wealth. I mean, like I gave the example of an account, 0.25% on an account. It would take you 40 years to earn 10%. So, all right, if you doubled that, you could maybe do it earn 10% on your money in 20 years, right? But it's still not going to really make me wealthy. So to make myself wealthy, I've got to increase my income, or I've got to invest in something that will go up, like a property or a share that will increase my wealth that way. But the quickest way you can do it is to increase your income. And this is something I recently listened to. Grant Cardone says the same thing. Grant Cardone says, you know about cutting coupons, you gotta increase your income. Yeah, fine. So what ways can what things can you do to increase your income? Well, if you're in a job, your scope might be limited, okay, but you could try and get a promotion. You could try and get a rise. Maybe give a bit of extra value to the employer to get a bit more pay, or you could obviously find a new job and increase your income that way. But you can. Most people only work 40 hours a week, some 35 hours a week. In some government jobs, maybe even less. Sorry about that. I couldn't resist that. But you've got time, haven't you? You've got all that time in the evening where you may just be watching TV. You've got all that weekend spare time, the Saturdays, Sundays. And there are so many ways you can earn money on the side, if you were. Now, one of those could be selling stuff online through eBay, Amazon stores. There are multiple ways you can start an Amazon store very, very cheaply. You don't need a high street store and a physical premises. eBay, buy and sell on eBay. Even secondhand stuff. You can go and get hold of secondhand stuff in charity shops and sell it on Amazon. You can get books that you can pick up for 20p that could be worth 15, 20 pounds on Amazon. I've proved that this can be done. And you can even get an app to scan the book to see what it would sell for on Amazon, or a toy, for instance. So there are multiple ways of earning money through online selling. But obviously the best way is to set up your own setup where you've got a proper business, and you can do that through Amazon or eBay. So that's one way. Selling stuff online. You can also get a part-time job. I know many people that do part-time jobs on a Saturday. Sometimes it could be working on a site, for instance, on a weekend where they're selling properties and they can't get staff to work on a Sunday, and people will do that on a part-time basis. But if you can get one little part-time job and earn, say, another £200 or £300 a month, that's a lot of money. You've got to cut a lot of coupons, and you've got to save on a lot of things. And keep switching your bank account every 5 minutes to earn that much in a month, so that is a key way of building your wealth. And then with that money, what do you do with that money? Do you just go and spend it? No, you put that to one side, because you've been used to living on your basic income. So anything that you can earn extra, any bunts, if you like, put that to one side and let that build up in an account. And then when you've got enough in there, you could make an investment. Then you've got the cash and the capital to invest into maybe a small property, maybe a share in a property, maybe a share on the stock market, if you can learn how to use and invest in the stock market. So there are multiple ways of doing that. I've done part-time jobs in the past, and they can make quite a big difference, because say if somebody's earning £2,000 a month, they're not likely to be able to walk into their boss and get a 10% pay rise. But if they can earn another £200 a month doing direct selling, multi-level marketing, network marketing, or something from an Amazon shop, or just a part-time job, £200 a month extra is a 10% pay rise there and then. And also by starting a business, you can get tax breaks. You can you'll be using your home as the business premises. There are all sorts of ways, but you need to talk to your accountant about that. I'm not a tax advisor, but just think of that little bit of extra money could make a huge difference, and 10% more money can make a huge difference to people. And I've written about this in my forthcoming book, Yes, Money Can Buy You Happiness, that a little bit of extra money not only can make a big difference to the finances, it could pay for children's education, it could pay for lots of things, a new car or whatever, but it can also make you a little bit happier. And a bit of extra money up to a point is proven to make you feel happier, to make you feel more content. And then once you've started that, some part-time businesses, like I had a part-time business that developed into a full-time business and made me an awful lot of money, and that can make you fortunes, as it did for me. So think about that. So still look at the money tips. But if you really want to build wealth and build real wealth, you've got to look first at the income, because you might not have that money to invest. You can't be a stock market whiz or a property entrepreneur if you've literally got nothing in your pocket. Although there are ways of doing it, and we've talked about those before. But generally speaking, you need a bit of money to start an investment. So just start. If you start by looking at the income and then saving a bit of money, you'll be ready when the opportunity arises. Now, with property, as I said, there are ways you can do rent-to-rent schemes. You can become a property finder and earn money by selling on property deals that you find and package them up. Again, you don't need capital for that, but again, you just need time to do that. So, look, there are multiple ways of earning extra money. So, first of all, those are your 5 tips, those are your funny tips, but the biggest way to really increase your wealth is to increase your income initially. Okay, thanks very much for listening. This has been Charles Kelly, bringing you money tips to help you earn, invest, save, accumulate, and enjoy more money.